The United States Bill of Rights.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion,
or abridging the freedom of speech.
The right of the people to keep and bear arms.
In all of human history, it is found that freedom is the exception, not the norm. The pillars of the American experiment and of the resultant liberty have been a civically moral, educated, and active people. We, the people of Vancouver, Washington's mission is to encourage one another, our families, and our communities in these pursuits, thus reasserting civic ownership of our cities, state, and nation.
Thanks. Thank you. Got my notes here, just in case. Although since I have so much time, I don't have to be quite as tied to my notes. But I'm going to do that so that I don't have to turn all the time. As this beautiful woman just introduced me, thank you, said, I am running for state senate in the 49th district. I actually grew up in Clark County. And I moved back here. So between the times of growing up and leaving in my early 20s, I did serve in the Oregon State Legislature. But I've done many other things. I am very concerned about the economy in this county and in this community. I'm also concerned about government and their appetite for growth and lack of concern for the people's money. And so I would like to go and to Olympia and try to change some of that. I've been a small business owner myself, and I've had to meet a payroll. So I understand what it would be like to be existing in an economy like this. It would be very difficult to do that. So what I'd like to do if I go there, if I'm elected to Olympia, and I fully intend to work so hard that I will be, I would actually like to benefit the small businesses of this community through tax credits for job creators, as well as reducing onerous regulations so that they can build their businesses, not pay things like head taxes when the city thinks that they need a little bit more money for whether it's transportation or parks or whatever it is, not adding to that. Not like the Department of Ecology, who has stormwater regulations that declare that anybody who develops must actually bring the stormwater back to what it flowed like before Anglo-European settlement. If you've ever really stopped to think about what that is, it is, in a word, ludicrous. First of all, who was measuring it? How did they know what it was? And if you ever watch the History Channel and see a satellite image of Manhattan Island many in the 1800s, you would see the difference between what happens when civilization comes. Now, of course we need to control stormwater, but this is just an example of what the Department of Ecology has done. The legislature didn't do that. That was actually the federal government, but the Department of Ecology has determined that that was their interpretation of what the federal government wanted. I also want to keep the burden of our tax burden down for our families. As I said, adding new taxes, adding a regional government. Do you know when you add a regional government like Metro, and that's what they're trying to do with this parks thing, you add that and you just have one more layer of government, one more opportunity to pay additional taxes. I love our parks too, but maybe there would be a way to allow volunteers to take care of parks, neighborhoods to come and take care of parks, but guess what? They won't let you. And I wonder why that would be. Any ideas? Unions. Yes, they need to keep their unions working, and they can't allow anybody to help to maintain parks and this sort of thing. I really would like to restore some fiscal sanity in Olympia, and I'd like to do that by looking at programs and determining any overlays, any overlaps, getting rid of waste and inefficiencies through accountability. Once the auditor does a look at a particular department, I think that the legislature should act to take care of all of the things that have been brought up. I also would like to fund education fully, because the Washington State Supreme Court has said that we need to fund a basic education, but they also stated that because the system has changed to an outcome-based system, that the funds also have to be outcome-based with the results. So I would do that, though, by sending more money to the classroom. Our kids deserve a good education, certainly better than the education that they're getting right now. I would also want to foster academic excellence and also return parental rights and local control for education. I will always be an advocate for the vulnerable in the communities, whether it's seniors or young children or the disabled. I just believe that I can be a voice for the people in Olympia. My experience in the Oregon legislature has given me that experience to go and have the experience when I'm elected. And I believe that the 49th district would like to have that, since they're losing their favorite son, Craig Pridemore. Now, I hope some of you here are from the 49th district, and you weren't really all that satisfied with him anyway, because I would be a very different senator, but I certainly would go there and be able to hit the road running. We do need to take over the Senate, and there is a real effort to try to do that. This seat would be one that they are not expecting to lose. And I observed that in an article where they talked about the Senate races that are up, and the 49th wasn't mentioned. I see that as good and bad. The good part is we can surprise them, and that's what I want to do. I want to shock them. But I'm going to need your help to do that. And I really would ask for your help. For one thing, just posting a lawn sign. A lawn sign indicates a real grassroots movement. A lawn sign usually indicates, one lawn sign usually indicates 10 votes. And so if we post those signs, thank you. If we post those signs, we start a little bit of a buzz going. And so those of you that are running for PCO, my idea is I would certainly like to enlist you in my army of volunteers to get to know me, find out about me. I have my literature here and everything, and you can ask me any questions you'd like, and hopefully we will see eye to eye. I'm sure that about 98% of it will see eye to eye, but I would enlist your help both for that, for calling, for volunteering, and in your home with office work and that kind of thing. This is going to be a grassroots effort because I don't have a lot of money. I'm trying to raise it, but the long and the short of it is I made my decision to run for this seat on the Saturday before the Monday of the filing week. And the Senate caucus did recruit me. They asked me to run for this, and they're helping me a little bit with some of the collateral things to begin with, but they are also asking that I have a good showing in the primary in order for them to help me financially. So that means I have to have a very good showing on August 7th. So I would ask that you help me. We are having a campaign kickoff on June the 26th from 5:30 to 7 at the Marshall Center in the Oak and the Elm Room. So if you would come and join us there, we'd love to have you. And we've got room for 100 people, so we need to fill that room. So please come. I don't want to be embarrassed and have an empty room. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I can tell you a little bit about my service in the Oregon State Legislature. I don't want you to take that, though, as that I'm some carpetbagger from Oregon coming here and trying to do something in Washington. But I would say that I do have leadership experience in Oregon. In 1999, we were in the majority, and the Republicans were in the majority the entire time that I served. However, we did have a Democratic governor, Governor Kitzhaber, who is now serving his third term, and he was known as Dr. No, and he was Dr. No. I was in leadership. I was the majority whip. I was the deputy co-chair of Ways and Means, and it was a joint Ways and Means. So I did serve on financial committees, and I know what it's like to make those tough decisions. And I know that tough decisions do have to be made, but they don't have to be made how most people right now in the legislature make them. They choose the most difficult things, the things that would hurt people the very most to cut. And then we cry about it and have to tax more, when in reality, we need to cut in every possible place that we can in order to tighten the belt of government. We're all living under a budget. The economy has changed, and we're having to pay more for gas and food and everything else that we consume. So I think that Olympia needs to learn that prosperity is not created in the halls of government. Prosperity is created here on the streets of our towns and our cities. So I just would humbly ask, I am ready to serve now in the Washington State Senate, and I would humbly ask for your vote and your help. Thank you very much.